Good morning, students. How are you? So, hope you are enjoyed your Deepavali festival. So, it's time to continue with the class. So, already we have completed geography and civics. So, we have completed all the lessons in geography and also in civics. So, only economics. So, one lesson and history, two lessons left. So, today's class we will continue with history. So, first say your prayer. தேங்க்யூ. நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர், நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர், நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். நான் ஒரு நல்லாசிரியர், நான் உங்களுக்கு தாயாகவும் தந்தையாகவும் இருந்து முறையாக அன்போடு கல்வியை போதிப்பேன். ஓகே ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், டேக் யுவர் சோசியல் சயின்ஸ் புக். Take page number 122. Third unit. Emergence of new kingdoms in South India. That is, we will discuss about later Cholas and Pandyas. Okay, so already in our previous class, that is in history class, so we have learned about the emergence of new kingdoms in North India. So about the Rajputs and how the Islam, so Muslim empire established their power in India. So how they came to India and initially how they established power in India. So we have discussed it in our previous history class. So that deals with North India. In today's class, we will discuss about the new kingdom in South India. So during the time of medieval India. So during the medieval India period. So that is after 9th century. So what type of kingdom? So who established their supremacy in South India, in Tamil Nadu? So in today's class, we will discuss about the Cholas. So the famous Chola dynasty. So how they established their power. So how was the society? So what was the nature of the society? Then the nature of administration. So we will discuss in today's class. So learning objectives. So what are you going to learn from this lesson? First, to trace the origin of the later Cholas and the later Pandyas. So to trace the origin of the later Cholas and the later Pandyas. So Cholas, Pandya. So they ruled Tamil Nadu. So apart from Tamil Nadu, so they occupied some part of other countries also. So South India was mostly occupied by these kings. So the Cholas and Pandyas. Then to know about the prominent rulers of both the kingdoms. So to know about the most famous and the important rulers of both the Cholas and the Pandyas. Then to acquaint with their administrative system. So that is to get knowledge. So to become familiar so with their administrative system. Then to understand the social, economic and cultural development during their reign. So to understand the social, economic and cultural development during their period. So in this lesson, what are you going to learn? First, to trace the origin of the latter Cholas and the latter Pandyas. Then to know about the prominent rulers of both the kingdoms. Then to acquaint with their administrative system. So to become familiar. So to know well about their administrative system. Then finally, so understand the social, economic and cultural development during their period. So the later Cholas, introduction. So the Cholas are one among the popular and well-known Tamil kings in the history of South India. So you know the Cholas, so the famous. So if I tell the name Chola means, so what will you remember? You may remember their flag, then mainly their architecture, especially the Tanjore big temple. So they constructed a lot of temples, especially Tanjore big temple. So Cholas, so they were most popular and well-known Tamil kings in the history of South India. So they elaborate. So elaborate means, done very carefully. Their state structure. So the administrative structure was very carefully done. Then the extensive irrigation network. So they gave importance to irrigation work because so mostly they ruled from the part of Kaveri Delta. So they gave importance to irrigation. Then the vast number of temples they built. So large number of temples so were built by the Chola period. So during the later Cholas. So you know that Tanjai big temple, Pragadeshwara temple, then Gagengota Cholapuram, so like that all. So very famous temples. So they built a lot. Then their great contribution to art and architecture and their overseas exploit. Their overseas exploit means, so they even conquered countries. So beyond India. So they even conquered Sri Lanka and some of the places in Indonesia. So Java, Sumatra. So these countries were also occupied by the Cholas. So they went in sea and even captured some foreign countries. So which gave them a preeminent position in history. So these things so gave them an important position. So the Cholas are one among the popular and well-known Tamil monarch. So Tamil monarch means Tamil king in the history of South India. So the elaborate state structure, the extensive irrigation network, the vast number of temples they built, their great contribution to art and architecture, and their overseas exploit gave them a preeminent position in history. So revival of the Chola rule. Revival means act of becoming strong or popular again. So revival means so becoming popular again. So how the Chola empire became popular again. So the ancient Chola kingdom, that is the Sangam age. So you have learned in Tamil. So the Sangam period. So during Sangam period, so Tamil Nadu was ruled by three dynasties. So Chera, Chola, Pandya. So the ancient Chola kingdom reigned supreme with the Kaveri Delta forming the core area of its rule. So the ancient Chola kingdom so mainly ruled the Kaveri Delta. So the region of Kaveri Delta and with Orayur as its capital. So the Sangam age Chola kingdom, so capital city was Orayur. So it is present in so Tiruchirappalli. So you know Tiruchirappalli district. So Orayur is present in Tiruchirappalli. It rose to prominence. It rose to importance during the reign of Karigala Cholan. So have you heard Karigala Cholan? Yeah, the king who built a dam, so Kallane Dam. So it rose to importance during the reign of Karigala Cholan, but gradually declined under his successors. So the ancient Chola kingdom so rise its peak during the reign of Karigala Cholan, but gradually declined under his successors. In the 9th century, Vijayalaya, so ruling over a small territory lying north of the Kaveri. So after Karigala Cholan, so there is no much important rulers in Chola dynasty. So mostly, so Tamil Nadu, so Chola kingdom was occupied by the Pallavas and also by the Kalabras. So later in the 9th century, Vijayalaya, so ruling over a small territory lying north of the Kaveri. So once upon a time during ancient period, so Chola kingdom occupies, they were supreme in the overall Kaveri Delta region. But later their power get declined. So in the 9th century, Vijayalaya ruling over a small territory lying north of the Kaveri river revived the Chola dynasty. So he conquered Tanjavur and made it his capital. So Vijayalaya, the Chola king, conquered Tanjavur and made it as his capital. Later Rajendra I and his successors ruled the empire from Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the newly built capital. So initially Vijayalaya captured Tanjavur and made it as his capital. Later Rajendra I and his successor ruled the empire from Gangaikonda Cholapuram, the newly built capital. So in the later Chola period, so the first most important famous ruler was Rajaraja I. So Rajaraja Cholan, popularly called as Rajaraja Cholan. So Rajaraja I. So was the most powerful ruler of Chola Empire and also grew popular beyond his time. So till now, so we are remembering about him. So he was not popular not only during his period, so even now he was popular. He established a Chola authority over large part of South India. So Rajaraja Chola established the Chola power over large parts of South India. He is much acclaimed. So acclaimed means express a very high opinion. His much acclaimed naval expeditions led to the expansion of Chola into the west coast and Sri Lanka. So even he captured Sri Lanka. So naval expedition, that means so going by sea. So navy. So he have his own navy. So he expanded the Chola empire into the west coast and even captured Sri Lanka. So Rajaraja I, so who ruled from 985 to 1014 AD. So here in this slide, so they mention as 947 to 1015. That is his life period. So from birth to death. But he ruled the kingdom from 985 to 1014. So during that period, so Rajaraja Chola I was the most powerful ruler of Chola Empire and grew popular beyond his time. So he established a Chola authority over large part of South India. His much acclaimed naval expedition led to the expansion of Chola into the west coast and also to the Sri Lanka. So he built the famous Rajarajeshwaram, that is the Brigadiswara temple, the big temple in Tanjavur. So Rajaraja Cholan built the famous Rajarajeshwaran, that is Brigadiswara temple in Tanjavur. So this temple is for Lord Shiva. He was succeeded by his son Rajendra Chola. So Rajaraja I was succeeded by his son Rajendra Chola. So who ruled from 1014 to 1044. So he matched his father in his ability to expand the empire. So Rajendra Chola was as equal as like that of his father. So he also extended his empire like that of his father. So the Chola empire remained a powerful force in South India during his reign. So the Chola empire remained a powerful force in South India during the period of Rajendra Chola I. So remember the year 1014 to 1044. So 1000 during that time. So what happened in North India? A king from a Muslim ruler from Gajini invaded India 17 times. So can you remember that? Who was he? Mahmud of Gajini. His famous invasion. So he invaded one temple. So what was the temple? Somnath temple. So these things happened in North India. So he invaded 17 times in North India. So Mahmud of Ghazni. So during the time, so South India was ruled by Rajaraja I and Rajendra Chola. Okay, so after his accession, his striking military expedition was to North India, capturing much territory there. So after coming to power, Rajendra I conduct a military expedition. So that is, he went to North India and captured some of the places in North India. He proclaimed himself the Gangai Kondan. So Gangai Kondan means so conqueror of Gangai region. So he invaded North India and captured some of the regions in the river Ganges. So that's why he proclaimed himself the Gangai Kondan. So the Gangai Konda Cholapuram temple was built to commemorate. So commemorate means to exist or take place in order to make people remember a special event. To build a place. So in order to make people remember a special event. So in order to remember his success over the North Indian region. So the Gangai river region. So he built a temple called as Gangai Konda Cholapuram temple. So the navy of Rajendra Chola enabled him to conquer the kingdom of Sri Vijaya. So southern Sumatra. So it was in south of Asia. So almost if you see in the world map, you can see it as Java Sumatra Island. So Sri Vijaya now called as Sumatra Island. So which located to the east of India. So if you see in the world map, you can see to the east of India, you see Andaman Nicobar Island. So beyond Andaman Nicobar Island, you can see the Sumatra Island. So Rajendra Chola, with the help of his navy, so conquered Sri Vijaya. So Chola's control over the seas facilitated a flourishing overseas trade. So Chola's control over the seas helped and promoted the overseas trade. So it helped the Tamil people to have trade contact with these East Asian countries. Decline of the Chola Empire. So how the Chola Empire began to become weak. So how did the Chola Empire become weak? Rajendra Chola's three successors were not capable rulers. So Rajaraja I, Rajendra Chola. So they were most important and powerful ruler. But their successors were not capable rulers. The third successor, Veera Rajendra son Adi Rajendra, was killed in civil unrest. So Rajendra Chola, three successors were not a capable rulers. So the third successor was Veera Rajendra and his son was Adi Rajendra. He was killed in civil unrest. So civil unrest means so people involving in violence. With his death ended the Vijayalaya line of Chola rule. So after his death, it put an end to the Vijayalaya line of Chola rule. Then which dynasty came to rule? So it came the Chalukya Chola dynasty. So on hearing the death of Adi Rajendra, the eastern Chalukya prince Rajendra Chalukya seized the Chola throne and began the rule of Chalukya Chola dynasty as Kulothunga I. So on hearing the death of Adi Rajendra, the eastern Chalukya prince, so Rajendra Chalukya, so he captured the Chola throne and began to rule the Chola kingdom as Kulothunga I. Yeah, so who was Kulothunga I? Yeah, so Chalukyas and Cholas, so they have matrimonial alliance. Yeah, so Chalukyas and Cholas, they have matrimonial alliance. So Chalukyas, so they ruled the southern part of India. That is, they ruled parts of Karnataka, Maharashtra. Yeah, so they had matrimonial alliance with Chola Empire. Yeah. So this matrimonial alliance between the Cholas and the Eastern Chalukyas began during the reign of Rajaraja I. Yeah, so the matrimonial alliance between the Cholas and the Eastern Chalukyas began during the reign of Rajaraja I. Yeah, so Rajaraja I's daughter name was Kundavai. Yeah, so Rajaraja I daughter name was Kundavai. So Kundavai was married to Chalukya prince Vimaladitya. Yeah, so Kundavai was married to Chalukya prince Vimaladitya. So their son name was Rajaraja Narendra. So their son name was Rajaraja Narendra, who married the daughter of Rajendra Chola named Ammanga Devi. Okay, so the daughter of Rajaraja I was Kundavai. He was married to Chalukya prince Vimaladitya. So their son name was Rajaraja Narendra. So Rajaraja Narendra was married the daughter of Rajendra Chola. Yeah, so who was Rajendra Chola? Yeah, son of Rajaraja Chola. Yeah, so the daughter of Rajendra Chola was Ammanga Devi. Yeah, so their son was Kulothunga I. Yeah, so he belongs to the Chalukya dynasty. He began the Chalukya Chola dynasty. Yeah, so Kulothunga established himself strongly on the Chola throne, soon eliminating all the threats to the Chola empire. Yeah, so Kulothunga, so he established himself strongly. Yeah, so after removing the threat to the Chola empire, so he avoided unnecessary wars and earned the goodwill of his subject. Yeah, so he avoided unnecessary wars and earned the goodwill, so good opinion of his people. So but Kulothunga lost the territories in the Ceylon. Yeah, so so Rajaraja I, Rajendra I, so they occupied Ceylon, that is Sri Lanka. Yeah, but Kulothunga lost the territories in Ceylon. The Pandya territory also began to slip out of Chola control. So now the Pandya, so they also began to rise. So Kanjipuram was lost to the Telugu Cholas. So Kanjipuram was also lost to the Telugu Cholas. The year 1279 marked the end of Chola dynasty when King Maravarman Kulasegara Pandya I defeated the last king Rajendra Chola III and established the rule of Pandyas in present day Tamil Nadu. Yeah, so even though Kulothunga I so strongly established the Chalukya Chola dynasty, it was not successful. Yeah, because during his period itself, so he lost some of the territories, so like Ceylon, then Kanjipuram, and also even Pandyas. So they began to slip out of the Chola control. So they again became strong. So the year 1279 so marked the end of Chola dynasty when King Maravarman Kulasegara Pandyan I defeated the last king Rajendra Chola and established the role of Pandyas in present day Tamil Nadu. Yeah. So now you can tell me the Chola king name, so which you have learned till now. Yeah, Karigalan, then Vijayalaya, yeah, Rajaraja I, Rajendra, then Veera Rajendra, Adi Rajendra, then so Kulothunga I. Okay, then finally Rajendra Chola III. Yeah. So who began the role of Chalukya Chola dynasty? Yeah, Kulothunga I. Yeah, so thus so the Chola empire so declined. Yeah, so the last ruler, the last king of the later Cholas was Rajendra Chola III. So he was defeated by the Pandya king named Maravarman Kulasegara Pandyan I. So administration. So how was the administration of the Chola kingdom? So the central administration was in the hands of king. So the central administration was in the hands of king. As the head of the state, the king enjoyed enormous power. So the king is the head of the state and he enjoyed enormous power. The king's order were written down in palm leaves by his officials or inscribed on the temple walls. So the order of the king were written down in the palm leaves by his officials or inscribed on the temple walls. The kingship was hereditary in nature. That means so his son became the king, then after his son became the king. So like that. So hereditary in nature. The ruler selected his eldest son as the heir apparent. So heir apparent means a person who is most likely to succeed the place of another. So the king selected his eldest son as the heir apparent. He was known as Yuvaraja. So when the king is there means his eldest son was chosen as the heir apparent and he was called as Yuvaraja. The Yuvarajas were appointed as governors in the provinces mainly for administrative training. So an Yuvaraja can't become a king directly. So he have to work as a governor in the provinces. So the kingdom was divided into provinces, so which was called as Mandalam. So the Chola ruler established a well-organized system of administration. The empire, for convenience of the administration, was divided into provinces or mandalams. Each mandalam was subdivided into nadu, and each nadu there were many kuram. So kuram means so group of villages. Then below kuram it was gramam. So the lowest unit was the gramam, that is village. So the central administration was in the hands of the king. So the king enjoyed a lot of power. So enjoyed enormous power. So his order were written down in palm leaves by his officials or written or inscribed on the temple walls. So the kingship was hereditary in nature. So the ruler selected his eldest son as the heir apparent. So who was called as Yuvaraja. The Yuvarajas were appointed as the governors in the provinces mainly for administrative training. So the Chola ruler established a well-organized system of administration. So the empire for administrative convenience was divided into provinces or mandalam. Mandalam into nadu, nadu into kuram, that is group of village, and kuram into gramam. So gramam is the lowest unit of administration. Then the local governance. So local administration worked through various bodies such as Urar, Sabayar, Nagarattar and Natar. So administration we discussed about how was the whole kingdom divided. So in the local administration, so the local administration worked through various bodies such as Urar, Sabayar, Nagarattar and Natar. With the expansion of agriculture, numerous peasant settlements came up on the countryside. So the Chola territory, so the Chola kingdom, they gave importance to irrigation. So agriculture practice expanded. So with the expansion of agriculture, numerous peasant settlements. So peasant means small farmers. So numerous peasant settlements came upon the countryside, that is on the village side. So they were known as Ur. So you know Ur. So your village was called as Ur. So from which area you came? So in Tamil, say Yenda Uru. So like that we called no. So they were known as Ur. The Urar, who were the landholders, acted as the spokesmen in the Ur. So the Urar, who were the landholders, so acted as the spokesmen in the Ur. Sabayar in Brahmin villages also functioned in carrying out administrative, financial and judicial function. So there was village for the Brahmins. So they were dedicated by the king. So the villages dedicated to the Brahmins also. So Sabayar in Brahmin village also functioned in carrying out administrative, financial and judicial function. Nagarattar administered the settlement of traders. So Nagarattar, so they involved in trade activities. So first Urar, so they involved in agriculture activities. So Urar, who were the landholders, acted as the spokesmen in the Ur. Sabayar in Brahman villages also functioned in carrying out administrative, financial and judicial function. Nagarattar administered the settlement of traders. However, skilled artisans like masons, so those who involved in construction activities. Then blacksmith, so those who involved in dealing with iron and iron objects. Then goldsmith, weavers and potters also lived in Nagaram. So apart from Nagarattar, and that is traders, so skilled artisans like masons, blacksmiths, goldsmith, weavers, potters were also lived in Nagaram. Natar functioned as an assembly of Nadu and decided all the disputes and issues pertaining to Nadu. So Natar functioned as an assembly of Nadu, decided all the disputes and issues pertaining to Nadu. Okay, so Nadu, so subdivision of Mandalam. The assemblies in Ur, Sabha, Nagaram and Nadu worked through various committees. So there were separate assemblies in Ur, Sabha, Nagaram and Nadu. So they were worked through various committees. The committees took care of irrigation, road, temples, gardens, collection of revenue and the conduct of religious festivals. So each administrative unit have their own assembly. So they were helped by the various committees. So the committees took care of various functions. Yeah, so from this we can understand that there was a well administrative system existed in Tamil Nadu during the medieval period. Uttaramerur inscription. So Uttaramerur, so presently in Kanchipuram district was a Brahmadaya village. So Uttaramerur, which is present in Kanchipuram district, was a Brahmadaya village. So Brahmadaya village means so land given to Brahmins. There is a detailed description of how members were elected to the committees. So already we have seen. So in the assemblies in Ur, Sabha, Nagaram, they were worked through various committees. How were the members of the committees of the village Sabha elected? So this was detailedly explained in the Uttaramerur inscription. So one member was to be elected from each ward. So one member was to be elected from each ward. There were 30 wards in total. So in village Sabha there were 30 wards. The eligibility to contest was to men in the age group of 35 to 70. So who can contest in the election? So the men, only men should conduct in the election. So he should be the age group between 35 to 70. Then well versed in Vedic text. So he should be age group between 35 to 70. Then he is well versed, so well known person in Vedic text and scriptures, and also owned land and house. So he must be the age group between 35 to 70. Then he is well versed in Vedic text and scripture, and also he have his own house and land. So the process of election was as follows. How was the election conducted? So the names of qualified candidates from each ward were written on the palm leaf slips and put into a pot. Okay, so the process of election was as follows. So the names of qualified candidates from each ward. So totally there are 30 wards. So the qualified candidate's name was written in palm leaves and was put into the pot. So the eldest person of the assembly would engage a boy. So the eldest person of the assembly asked a small boy or girl to pull out one slip and declare his name. So various committees were decided in this way. So this method was called as Kodavolai system. So Kodavolai Murai. So what they do means they write the suitable candidate's name in palm leaf and put it in a pot. So the eldest person of that village ask a small boy or a girl to take any one leaf from that pot. So the leaf taken. So the boy pull out one slip and declare his name. So various committees were decided in this way. So this was explained in the Uttaramerur inscription. So we have discussed about the administration, then the local governance. Okay, so you know how was the kingdom divided. So kingdom into provinces or mandalam. So mandalam into Nadu, Nadu into Kurram, and Kurram. So below it was the Gramam. Then we discussed about the Uttaramerur inscription. So how was the committee members chosen? Next, revenue. So the revenue, that is the income. So taxable income. The revenue of the Chola state came mainly from the land. So you know, so Chola kingdom gave importance to irrigation. So that is Kaveri Delta region was occupied by the Chola state. So agriculture was the main source of income. So the land tax was known as Kanikadan. So the land tax collected by the Chola state was known as Ganikadan. The Chola rulers carried out an elaborate survey of land in order to fix the government share of land revenue. The Chola rulers carried out an detailed survey of land in order to fix the government share of the land revenue. 1/3 of the produce was collected as the land tax. So 1/3 of the, so whatever yield given by the land, so how to give 1/3 share. So say for example, if you get 30 kg of vegetables from your land means you have to give 10 kg to the government. So that is 1/3 of the produce was collected as the land tax. It was mostly collected in kind way, in a peaceful way. In addition to land tax, there were taxes on profession and tolls on trade. So toll gate, so if you want to carry your goods from one place to another place means you have to pay the toll tax now, like that. So if any goods from any other country, so nearby kingdom so came to Chola kingdom means they have to pay the toll tax. So apart from the land tax, so Chola kingdoms, so they get taxes, they put taxes on profession and tolls on trade. Social structure based on land relation. So the Chola rulers gifted tax-free land to royal officials. So already we saw the revenue. So the land tax was the important source of revenue. So they collected tax from land. So the Chola gave importance to land. But the Chola rulers gifted tax-free land to royal officials, Brahmins, temples. So the land given to temples was called as Devadana villages and also religious institutions. So land granted to Jain institutions was called as Pallichandam. So the Chola rulers gifted tax-free land to the royal officials, Brahmins, temples and religious institutions. So they gave land to Jain institutions. So Jainism. So you know Jainism. You have already learned in your lower class. That is in 6th standard. So who found the Jainism religion? Mahavira. So the land granted to Jain institution was called as Pallichandam. Then there were also called as Velan Vagai land. So there were also of Velan Vagai land and the holders of this land were called as Velalar. So there were also called as Velan Vagai land. So the holders of this land were called as Velalar. Ulukudi, a subsection of Velalar, could not own land but had to cultivate Brahmadeya and Velan Vagai land. So the Velalar, so they have their own land which was called as Velan Vagai. But a subsection of Velalar was called as Ulukudi. They could not own land but they have to cultivate Brahmadeya. So Brahmadeya means so the village, the land given to the Brahmins, and Velan Vagai. So Velan Vagai, the land given to the Velalar. So the holders of Velan Vagai land retained Melvaram, that is major share in the harvest. So the Velalar, so who hold the land, that is the Velan Vagai land, so got a major share in the harvest, that is called as Melvaram. The Ulukudi, so who have no land but they cultivate the land of Brahmadeya and Velan Vagai. So they got Keelvaram, that is lower share. Apart from that, Adimai, that is slaves, and Panisai Makal, that is laborers, so occupied the lowest rank of the society. So apart from these people, that is Brahmins, Velalar and Ulukudi, so there were another set of people were called as slaves and laborers. So Adimai and Panisai Makal. In the intermediate section came the armed men and traders. So in the intermediate, so between them, so they were the armed men and the traders. So the Chola rulers gifted the tax-free land to the royal officials, Brahmins, temples and religious institutions. So Pallichandam, the land granted to the Jain institution. Then apart from Velan Vagai, so the holders of this land were called as Velalar. Ulukudi, a subsection of the Velalar, could not have land but they cultivate the Velan Vagai land and Brahmadeya land. So the holders of the Velan Vagai, that is the Velalar, so get the major share in the harvest, so which was called as Melvaram, and the Ulukudi, the subsection of the Velalar, get the lower share, so which was called as Keelvaram. Apart from that, there were Adimai, that is slaves, and Panisai Makal, laborers in the who occupied the lowest rank of the society. So in the intermediate section came the armed men and the traders. Irrigation. So Cholas gave importance to irrigation. So the 16-mile long embankment. So embankment means a wall or stone structure built to prevent a river flooding an area as well as to store its water. So embankment means a wall or a stone structure built to prevent a river flooding an area as well as to store its water. So the 16-mile long embankment built by Rajendra Chola in Gangaikonda Cholapuram. So can you remember that Gangaikonda Cholapuram? It was built on the commemoration of Rajendra Chola's victory over the Gangetic Valley, so Gangetic region. So the 16-mile embankment built by Rajendra Chola in Gangaikonda Cholapuram is an illustrious example. So Vadivaikal, A crisscross channel is a traditional type of harnessing. So harnessing means controlling. So rainwater in the Kaveri Delta. Yeah, so vadi vaikal, a crisscross channel is a traditional type of harnessing, that is controlling rainwater in the Kaveri Delta. So vadi is a drainage channel. So drainage means system used for making water etc. to flow away from a place. So drainage means a system used for making water to flow away from a place. So Vadi is a drainage channel and Vaikal is the supply channel. So Vadi is a drainage channel, Vaikal is the supply channel. The commonly owned village channel was called as Ur Vaikal. So the commonly owned village channel was called as Ur Vaikal. Then the Nadu level, that is the country level Vaikal, is referred to as the Nadu Vaikal. So the Nadu. So can you remember that? What is Nadu? The subdivision of Mandalam. So the Nadu level Vaikal is referred to as the Nadu Vaikal. Then the turn system was in practice in distributing the water. So the turn system, what is meant by turn system? During a particular period only, so they supply the water. So they often change the flow of water, so the supply of water, because they construct a lot of channel. So like that canal. So they often change the path. So that is the turn system. So the Cholas gave importance to the irrigation system. Then the religion. So what religion was practiced by them? So they were Hindus, especially they were ardent Saivites. So ardent means showing strong feeling. So they were a strong supporter of Saivites. Saivites means those who pray Lord Shiva. So they were called as Saivites. So hymns, that is religious songs in praise of the deeds of Lord Shiva, were composed by the Saiva saint, the nine Mars. So nine Mars. So they were the followers. So they were the ardent Saivites. So they composed various Saiva saint. So Saiva songs. So Nambiyar under Nambi codified the various songs of nine Mars, which came to be known as the Tirumurai. So Chola rulers were the ardent Saivites. So hymns, that is religious songs in praise of the deeds of the Lord Shiva, were composed by the Saiva saint known as the nine Mars. So Nambi and or Nambi codified them, that is arranged them in an order, so which came to be known as Tirumurai. So Nambi and or Nambi so arranged the songs of the Saiva saints, nine Mars, and collected them and codified them in a book called as Tirumurai. And temples, so the Chola king were famous in constructing temple. The Chola period witnessed an extensive construction of temple. The temples in the Tanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram are the repository of architecture, sculpture, paintings and iconography of the Chola art. So the temples in the Tanjavur, Gangaikonda Cholapuram and Dharasuram are the repository of architecture. So repository means place in which things are stored. So repository means place in which things are stored. So they place their things. So they place their taxable revenue in the temples only. So the repository of architecture, sculpture, paintings and iconography. So iconography means visual images and symbols used in a work of art or the study or interpretation of this. So iconography means visual images or symbols used in a work of art or the study or the interpretation of these things. So temples during the Chola period were not merely the places of worship. So temples during the Chola period were not merely a place of worship. They were the largest landholders. So temples promoted education. So temples promoted education and a devotional form of art such as dance, music and drama. So temple is not only a place of worship. So temple have a large area of land. So the temple promoted education and also devotional form of art such as dance, music and drama. The staff of the temples included temple officials, dancing girls, musicians, singers, players of musical instruments and the priest. So temple, so it was linked with various staff such as temple officials, dancing girls, musicians, singers, players of musical instruments and the priest. So temple was connected with the life of the people. So there were many people. So those who depend on the income of the temple. Okay, va? So Cholas as patrons of learning. So they were interested in education. So Chola kings were great patrons of learning. Rajendra I established a Vedic college at Ennairam. So Rajendra I established a Vedic college at Ennairam, which is now in Viluppuram district. So there were 340 students learning the Vedas, grammar and Upanishads under 14 teachers. So there were a Vedic college established by Rajendra I in Ennairam. Yeah. So in that Vedic college there were 340 students so who learn Veda, grammar and Upanishad, so under 14 teachers. So this example was later followed by his successors, and as a result 2 more such colleges had been founded at Tirubunai, so which is present near Puducherry, and Tirumukkudal in present day Chengalpattu district in the year 1048 and 1067 respectively. So Rajendra I established a Vedic college at Ennairam. There were 340 students so learning Vedas, grammar and Upanishads under 14 teachers. So this example was followed by his successors. So later in the year 1048 a college, so such Vedic college was established at Tirubunai, and in the year 1061 same type of college was established at Tirumukkudal. So Tirubunai is present in Puducherry and Tirumukkudal is present in Chengalpattu. So then the great literary works, so Periya Puranam and Kambaramayanam, so belong to this period. So Kambaramayanam, you know very well. Kambaramayanam and Periya Puranam. So these literary works were written during the later Chola period. Then last, trade. So trade was also developing so during the Chola period. So trade was well developed during the Chola period. Trade was carried out by 2 guild-like groups. So guild means an organization of people who do the same job or who have the same interest or aim. So guild means an organization of people who do the same job or who have the same interest or aim. So the trade was carried out by 2 guild-like groups, Anjuvannathar and Manigramathar. So trade was carried out by 2 groups, so called as Anjuvannathar and Manigramathar. Anjuvannathar comprised West Asians, Arabs, Jews, Christians and Muslims. So Anjuvannathar comprised West Asia, Arab, Jews, Christians and Muslims. So they were maritime traders and settled on the port towns along the coast of West. So the Anjuvannathar were the maritime traders, that is they came from sea. So they involved in sea trade, and they settled down on the port towns all along the west coast, that is especially in the Kerala region. It is said that Manigramathar were the traders engaged in inland trade. So if you take Anjuvannathar, they involved in trade with the foreign countries. So they were the foreigners. So they were the maritime traders. If you take Manigramathar, they were the traders engaged in inland trade. In due course, both groups merged under the banner of Ainutruvar and Disai Ayirath Ainutruvar. So in due course, both the Anjuvannathar and Manigramathar merged under the banner of 2 groups, that is Ainutruvar and Disai Ayirath Ainutruvar. So functioning through the head guild in Ayavol, Karnataka. So they were functioned through the head guild. So their head group was Ayavol, Karnataka. So this Ainutruvar guild operated the maritime trade covering Southeast Asian countries. This Ainutruvar operated the maritime trade covering the Southeast Asian countries. So through overseas trade with the South Asian countries, elephant tusk, coral, transparent glass, betel nuts, cardamom, opaque glass, cotton stuff with colored silk threads were imported. So with these overseas trade persons, India, that is Chola kingdom, so imported various things from Southeast Asian countries such as elephant tusk, coral, transparent glass, betel nuts, cardamom, opaque glass, etc. So the items exported from Chola kingdom to others were sandalwood, ebony, condiments, precious gems, pepper, oil, paddy, grains and salt. So the items exported from here were sandalwood, ebony, condiments, precious gems, pepper, oil, paddy, grains, etc. Okay students, in today's class we have discussed in detail about the Chola kingdom. So that is the later Cholas. So how they established their power, then how they declined, how the Chola kingdom was declined Then later we discussed about the society. Yeah, so the cultural, administrative, then economic of the later Chola period. Okay, va? Okay, students. If you have any doubt in this topic, so please contact me. Yeah. So take your book. So textbook reading. Yeah. Take page number 123. Yeah. Read that administration and local governance heading. Yeah. Read it loudly. Then homework. So take page number 131. So first question, what were the items exported during the later Chola period? So take page number 126. Yeah, so just above the heading, the later Pandyas, the last three lines. So the items exported from here were sandalwood, ebony, condiments, precious gems, pepper, oil, paddy, grains and salt. This is the answer for first question. Then leave the second question. Then come to third question. Write about Kani garden. So take page number 124. Yeah, see the heading, revenue, right hand side. Yeah, the first 2 points. The revenue of the Chola state came mainly from the land. The land tax was known as the Kani garden. Yeah, this is the answer for third question. So write the homework. First question, third question. Yeah, so do it properly. Okay, so if you have any doubt, contact me. So thank you, students. Have a nice day.